You know, our constitutional freedoms have been jeopardized. We've given up so many freedoms in the past, and we can't afford to give up anymore. We really have to hold on to our First Amendment rights, what we're doing right this minute, our Second Amendment rights, you know?
Because we're going to look...
I got in my backpack.
Yeah, we're going to look back.
That's right.
Our great-grandchildren, our grandchildren, we're going to be those like in the days of Martin Luther King.
Let me introduce you to Stewart Rhodes.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Keeper founder.
Share with us, what are you doing here today?
A lot of our guys are in Texas. We got Colonel John Siemens. He's retired Austin. He's down in Austin, or San Antonio, I'm sorry. He's retired Army Colonel. Then John Shirley is retired Houston PD, and he's a current serving constable in Hood County. And so a lot of our guys here are retired military and retired police, and we're out keeping people safe today. And then I spoke, and my message to them was, of course, all about the oath, responsibility to stand in defense of the Constitution. All the men that we're going to honor on Memorial Day honor their oath. We got to do the same, which is standing up, including to the governor. Doesn't matter if he's a Republican, doesn't matter if they're Democrats, we got to stand up and say, you're violating the Constitution. You need to stand down and respect our rights.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I have grown to love the Constitution. I'm a naturalized American citizen, and to become a citizen of the United States of America, you have to study the Constitution.
Right.
And then when you are conservative, it's even more important for us to uplift and to know the Constitution. Is there a message you want to send to our audience, our platform, about that Constitution, but our Constitution, because it is important? Which one? I know they're all them, but which is the most important
the
one?
United States Constitution, as the founders wrote in Article 6 of the Constitution, is the supreme law of the land, full stop. And it also said that every official, legislative, executive, and judicial, in every level of government, federal and state, must take an oath to support and defend the Constitution. And that's the bottom line. And so all across the country, from the federal level right down here to your governor and down to your local commissioner's court, they're violating their oaths, they're violating the Constitution, they're not putting the Constitution first. And there's no virus clause in the Constitution or the Bill of Rights that says you have the right to, for example, your right to free speech shall not be infringed unless there's a virus. It doesn't say that. Or your right to assemble and peaceably assemble, or your right to worship. So what we're seeing now is gross overreaction to the virus, but also a trampling, an illegitimate trampling on our rights, as though there's some kind of escape clause for during emergencies. You need the Constitution the most during emergency. It's not for normal times. When you have an emergency, you set it aside. Like during Hurricane Katrina, we all saw what happened there, where they went house to house and disarmed Americans because because of an emergency.
Tell us about your Oath Keepers.
So it's an organization of both current serving and former military, police, firefighters, first responders, search and rescue, EMTs. Like I served as a paratrooper in the Army, and then I worked for Ron Paul in his D.C. office, and then after that I then went and attended Yale Law School. I'm a Yale Law School graduate. So all of our guys, though, are primarily military and police, and also average people. An average person can join Oath Keepers because our responsibility is to pass on our skill sets. Whatever I learned as a paratrooper in the Army, it's my skill to pass that on to you. And so we got a guy that might have been in electronics or communications. It's his responsibility to teach you that. So we go around, and what we do is we call on the current serving to honor their oath by refusing unlawful orders, and we call on the veterans to stand up and help their communities become strong and free. Even after you get out of service, your oath does not expire until you do. That's our message to all the veterans out there, is that as long as you're on this side of the grass, you got to stand up and defend the Constitution. Like I said in my speech, if you don't defend the Constitution, then everything they died for, that we're all honoring them on Memorial Day, will be for nothing if we don't preserve the Constitution.
Praise the Lord. I want to give God the glory for having you come, and for Marsha. Yeah, come on, Marsha. This is Marsha who made this possible happen, and we want to thank you. And he's going to heal our land, and we're going to go back. Our country will be reopened because we know that.
And 4 more years.
4 more years. 4 more years.